Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Ontomadu Show. I am your host, Dr. Uwa Onyioha Osimiri, and I'm your internet auntie. I'm also the president of the African Women Mobilization Commission, a nonprofit organization taking proactive action for change in the lives of women and children. Ntomodo, for those of you who don't know, means words of wisdom that I share to add to your repertoire. And also my guests share to add to your repertoire. Today, I do have a wonderful guest, a special guest. She's been with us before, Miss Lamiz Latha. I'm going to bring her in very soon. But before we do that, I would like to welcome my viewers on Facebook page, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. Thank you for joining me today. Why does this show matter? This is a vibrant space where our stories aren't just murmured softly. They're belted out like lively karaoke night. This platform is your ticket to amplifying the voices that define our community. And trust us, it's a celebration you won't want to skip. By joining in, you gain valuable insights and become part of a movement that champions success, culture, and unity. Imagine it as the ultimate potluck where everyone brings their finest dish. But there's even more. To keep this momentum going, we need your support. Tap that subscribe button and become a crucial part of our journey. Every subscription is like a cheerful high five that you give us, and that inspires us to continue to bring more inspiring content to you. So let's make noise together and show the world the strength of the Ntomodo community, because if we're going to spark change, we might as well do it with style and plenty of smiles. Before we go any further, I would like to share this beautiful AI art. I shared it last time on my show, and I tell you, I just love it. It's I have the permission of artist Surreal Vision Arts to share it in this show. And I believe that you will enjoy. If you enjoyed it last time, you certainly will enjoy it this time. So we're just going to take a moment and just enjoy a little bit. Now, he's on Facebook page. You may want to download some of it or just play it when you're drinking your coffee, drinking water, whatever it is that gives you pleasure. It is absolutely breathtaking. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you think. Share with me what you think about it. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, just a taste. You have the opportunity to go online to YouTube, Surreal Vision Arts, and they have so many. It's just absolutely fantastic. So I'm glad I have the permission to play it, and I'll be doing so every time that I go, we get started on the Ntomodo show. Hello, everyone. I'm excited about this program today. But before I start talking about anything, I would like to bring in my guest speaker today. I'm going to introduce her again. Lamiz is a renowned healer, Practitioner, self-love mentor, and certified life coach. Together with her accreditations in retirement fund consulting, wealth management, and HR practices spanning over 30 years in the corporate sector, it has empowered her with strategic tools for her life, living her life from it starts with you. She took a leap of faith with herself in 2021, moved to Antalya, I hope I'm saying it properly, Turkey, and now resides in South Africa. She lives life always from love and empowers individuals to reconnect with themselves. That's the key right there. Reconnecting with yourself, to see and own their power, and to live a life aligned to their values and truth. It is indeed my honor and pleasure to welcome back my dear friend. There she is, Lamiz Latha. Hello, Lamiz. How
Hello,
are
my
you today?
beautiful. Listen, I'm good. Hello, my beautiful Dr. Osimiri. I
Well,
am good, and hello to all the beautiful blessings with us.
yes,
Excited
indeed.
to have this conversation.
Yes, it's so wonderful. You know what? This particular conversation was important to me because I know you just don't know what people are going through on a daily basis. You don't know. And so
Yes.
what happens is sometimes we have to share, we have to share with people where we've been ourselves. So it's not like we're just talking, but we actually have something important to share, something that we've experienced. And I just want to share that with you a little bit. So let's just talk about what we're here to talk about. It's We're diving deep into a topic that affects all of us: the accumulation of mental trash. Those things that buzz in your head that stay there, that you should be getting rid of, but you don't know how to get rid of them. This is
Yeah.
mental clutter, and it can stem from so many pressures. It could be social pressures, it could be the negative influences and our own limiting beliefs, but it doesn't have to define us. So let's understand, first of all, what mental trash is. The social influences. You have a family friend, or rather, you have a friend or a family member constantly criticizing your
Mhm.
choices, leading you to doubt your decisions. Or maybe the media portrayals that suggest success only looks a certain way and makes you feel inadequate because maybe you don't fit the picture, you don't fit the images you see, you don't fit the mold, so you feel that you're not good enough. Or maybe personal experience. And quite frankly, I wanted to share my own personal experience and how for many, many years it became part of the clutter in my head. You know, um, my teacher, when I was in high school, we had to live on campus. So my father was the head or the spiritual head of Chiism or Godian religion, and he stood for Africans identifying and reconnecting with their spiritual culture and all of that. So it didn't sit quite well with certain segments of the religious world in Nigeria. And so, unfortunately for me, I had to go to a school where the principal was a reverend sister. I don't want to call her name. I don't want to, you know. She was very cruel. That was a cruel human being. She was so cruel to me because they couldn't stand my dad. She wanted to take it out on me. I happened to be the sacrificial lamb that ended up in that school. And one day I had a terrible, terrible bout of malaria. And you know how bad malaria could be. If you have malaria, that's something you don't ever want to have. And I had
Yes.
malaria. I was delirious. I had fever. I was throwing up. The nausea was horrible. And everybody, all the students had gotten to class except me. I was laying down, in the state of malaria. And this woman walked in and she asked me to get up from the bed and go with her to her house, to the back of her house, to cut the lawn with a pair of scissors.
Okay.
With
Wow.
a pair of scissors. I had malaria. And it means you know what it is to have
Oh,
malaria.
I know. Oh, wow.
I, I was so nauseated. I couldn't stand. She made me stand. Then, when I couldn't stand, I had to get on my knees. And she insisted that I cut that lawn with scissors. And while I was doing all of that, she was telling me how ugly I was because I was terribly thin. And she was calling me praying mantis. You know, praying mantis is a very skinny bug.
Yes.
That's what she
Oh,
was
listen.
telling me. Yes, she told me I
Okay.
was so good and I'll end up just like my father, calling my father all kinds of names and calling me all sorts of names. And for me to be relieved from the nightmare I was experiencing at that time, she said I had to relinquish my father's beliefs. I have to become a Catholic. And
Mm.
it was so painful. And being young, I was maybe about 13, 12, 13. I was so
Yes.
desperate to go back to bed. I had to say, yes, I'm all of that you say that I am. Yes, my father is all you say that he is. Anything for me to get off my knees and go back to bed. But it didn't end there because as I became older and I was skinny and I was, I had some muscles on me, which right now, I wish I had all those muscles now because now we're all praying for that,
Really?
you know. But she said you were masculine. She called me everything but the child of God. But you know what, Lamiz? It got in my mind. It didn't matter what as a matter of fact, I didn't think if somebody wanted to be my friend, I would ask why. Why would you want to be a friend to somebody like me?
Yeah.
And for many, many years, I could not wear anything that was sleeveless because in that
Okay.
my mind, she had put all that trash in there about how I looked and I was masculine and all of that source. So I didn't want anything to showcase anything masculine about me. And I became introverted. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to be seen. And if somebody wanted to see me, now you wouldn't believe that was me. That's who I was,
Well,
But for
the,
many,
I'm
many,
thinking, trying
yeah,
to reconcile the two pictures.
I know, but that was me. I could not be around other girls because I just knew I was not adequate. And even as an adult for many, many years, I could not wear anything sleeveless because all I thought
Okay.
was everything she said. So it's so important for us to know that the clutter comes from some of the things that we say to other people. So if you're a teacher or a parent, you've got to be very careful what you say because all those things, they stick to the mind. Words are things, thoughts are words, and you never know where they land. And when they do land, they may land so fiercely you can't unlodge it. And people think when somebody gets a little bit older, then that means that automatically everything heals. It doesn't. It doesn't. For
No.
me, it took many, many years. Okay. So I say to teachers, watch what you say. Don't tell a child you're so dumb because believe it or not, they will believe it. Even if they have love family members who tell them, oh, you're okay, they may not believe it. Your words matter. Parents, your words matter. Don't compare the kids. Make sure you uplift.
Mm.
Your words must be uplifting because if they're not, some people take it to heart and it becomes clutter in their minds. So now I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Lamis, what
Yeah.
what is in your opinion? What are the consequences of accumulating mental trash? And can you give us some examples as well?
So it's exactly what you say. Words matter.
Yeah,
Okay. Not only how you speak to other people, but how you speak to yourself.
yeah,
And this is the thing. So it ties in beautifully to what Asante living is about in
yeah.
terms of being intentional. So for me, the starting point is when you choose yourself.
Hmm.
Okay, because the damage is there and you're aware of it, and it shows up
Hmm.
in different phases of your life. It shows up in different stages. And I was telling you before, I mean, your timing is impeccable in terms of the topics you're talking about at the moment. I mean, last week you spoke about love. This week it's about mental clutter. And the mental clutter is definitely accumulation of other people's opinions
Yeah.
that you have made your own. So
Hmm.
it becomes part of your belief system.
Hmm.
And when you say yes to yourself and you choose yourself, you become intentional about that. You have an awareness then about what is happening inside of you. All right. And to understand the extent of how damaging other people can be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to become really clear on what your values are, on what your belief system is. And this is ultimately what grounds you,
Mm-hmm.
just in terms of your sacred system. Because today in the world, everybody's saying connection. People talk about connection. But what is connection? You know, it's you and me connecting to each other, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the connection starts with yourself first and foremost, and your sacred system and what you believe in and what you value, like what your values are. And I think about how cruel children can be at school. I think about how cruel adults can be at school. And listening to your story, I mean, to think that for years, like, I mean, you wouldn't expose yourself because of that. I think of myself personally where it's, I have, I became so circumspect about how I showed up because people tended to misunderstand where I was coming from. Okay, where you were not allowed to be the brightest, you were not allowed to have a voice, you were not allowed to disagree with an adult, even if you did it respectfully. And it told you something about yourself. It said that your voice didn't matter. So what happens now is, and we're in such a beautiful position, and in terms of also your platform and my platform, where we can talk to people about the type of words you use. So first step is to actually choose yourself, because you reach a point in your life where you're just like, this just doesn't work for me, this just doesn't talk to me anymore. So you choose yourself and you say yes to yourself. And then you start becoming clear on what your values are, on what your belief system is, what is at the core of your sacred system. And everyone has a sacred system. That is the most important thing. People talk about religion, and yes, we all have different religions, but there's one God, okay? There's one higher being that we believe in, that everybody believes in. And it doesn't matter the form that it takes. Okay, what is at the core of you and connecting to that. And then once you become clear on that, is to nurture it, to nurture yourself, to look at the mental clutter you have going on in your head. If you keep looking at love stories, you know, I'm all about the love. If you keep looking at love stories, okay, and you're watching social media and it looks magical and it looks beautiful and all of that, but you're using it as an escapism tool for your life. When you become intentional, you start questioning why. Like, what is it that's missing in my life that I'm looking outside of myself? And that is what it is. We look outside of ourselves for validation, for love, for acceptance, and things like that. And it never comes. It never comes in the way we want it. Okay. And examples of that is where um, I look at the kids that are growing up at the moment and the value systems that they have, where it's important about the status, what you drive, the house you live in, the girlfriend you have walking next to you, the wife you have, the home you have. And there's no appreciation for you as a person. So you have to take it back to basics first. And you have to accept that, you know what, you are not going to be for everyone. There are going to be things that you don't like about yourself. And it doesn't happen overnight. But when you are intentional about it, you learn to accept. And acceptance is the thing. You learn to accept the things about you that you don't like. Okay, then you have the things that you love about yourself. And in between these spaces is experiences. And that's where your wisdom lives. And you start realizing when you apply your discernment from all your experiences and that, you start to realize that you need all of those things. And your wisdom allows you to choose how you want to show up. It allows you to choose what is true for you. Whether that is a belief system, whether that is the way you look, whether that is what you believe, whether that is what you're doing in the world, you have to become clear on yourself. And that is something that is being emphasized at the moment in the world, which is a beautiful thing. But you have to take it back to yourself. So for me, when I use my words, it's easy for me to get angry. It's easy for me to tell somebody, you know what, you've really upset me now, and attack the person personally. But my wisdom gives me a choice. Am I talking about the person or am I addressing the behavior? Because you've got to differentiate between the two. And the judgment part of it, the judgment part doesn't go away, but you learn to soften it. Okay, you learn to apply your discernment in certain situations. And everything about the conversations I have, and I always say, I mean, people say, what advice would you give? And I don't want to give advice, okay, because other people are the experts on themselves. I'm not here to give advice. All I want to say is that you know what is true for you. And when you become clear on that, you can focus on that. And that is your point of return with everything in your life. It's your point of return with everything in your life. So right now, my life is very different because the only person or the only one I take it back to is God. That's the only one I check with. I will have the conversations, I will do the necessary research and that, but I take it back to God because that is a place of unconditional love. There's no judgment, there's no comeback, there's no your secrets are going to be shared, there's no betrayal. But to also understand that everything in our lives, in our childhood and that, has prepared us for this journey that we're on at the moment, has prepared our voices for the messages we are sharing with people. Okay, us being so I have a beautiful, like in my mind, the metaphor for me is a bridge. Like, what kind of bridge do you want to be? Do you want to be a connecting bridge, an empowering one? Or do you want to be a disconnecting bridge, a disempowering one? You get to choose that every day. It's a choice every day. So it's your perspective. It's how you look at it. That's why I always say it starts with you. It comes back to you. Reconnect to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. These are things that I live by now. It's not even an option anymore. When somebody says something and I get upset or it triggers something inside of me, my immediate response is, okay, like you said in the beginning, I don't know what somebody else is going through. I don't know where they are coming from. So what makes me intentional is I respond based on who I am and who I want to be and who I choose to be. So at the moment, the one thing is rebuilding the trust with yourself, rebuilding the trust that you have with your voice, that you have with your experiences, that you have with the wisdom you've acquired in your life, and applying that. And if you don't get it right, be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Because people forget that.
You know, you're so right. I think that certainly people need to revert back to themselves and uplift themselves, but it's so difficult when that's not being your experience. You know, when you've been beaten down so much, you know, that you don't even know how to rise. It's like so many people get stuck in a job, right? They're stagnated. They're because they have this sense that they're not qualified for anything else. So they stay in a job that is upsetting for them, that's not fulfilling for them. It's that beat down, if I use that expression, it's that beat down that
Yes.
really has you in the dump so bad that everything that Lamiz is saying is very true. That's exactly what you should do. And if you can't do it on your own, if you've gotten to the point that you're so beaten down, there's no way that you can be the one to ascend, to teach yourself to ascend, then you have to look for help. And it's perfectly
Yes.
okay. You know what I mean? One of the biggest problems is that people really do believe that seeking help is a weakness. It's not, it's a sign of strength. If you're stagnated in life, it's time to move forward. But if you can't do it on your own, if you can't follow the advice that you're hearing right here today, then go see some other person, a professional, somebody that will sit with you on a daily basis and work with you.
Yeah, Dr. Smiri?
Extremely anxious. Some
Yeah.
people get, you know, they have this constant sense of failure. And then we can tell somebody, you know, to lift themselves up. It's also important to let people know you can be the cause of, and the reason for someone else's helplessness, feelings of
Yes.
hopelessness. So you have to watch yourself. All of us, wherever
Yes.
we find ourselves, we need to ask ourselves, what use am I to humanity? Your words are powerful words. The most powerful tool in the hands of an oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And sometimes we don't even know we are oppressed. Stephen Biko said that to the young South Africans. You know, hold on to
Yes.
your mind because their mind is easily manipulated. And once
Yeah.
it's manipulated, it's not easy to reel it back.
Come back.
You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of
Yeah.
work, lot of work. And everything you're saying today is exactly what people should do. However, if you're not finding that you're able to do it on your own, you have to seek help because you cannot stay stagnated forever. Believe it or not, it shortens your life. Life is not
So,
about just inhaling and exhaling. Life is about enjoying and living. Because if you're
yes.
enjoying life, if you feel good about yourself, you feel good, you know, if self-esteem is high, you know, you're willing to get up and get involved in things that make you feel good. But if you're stuck, if you're stagnated, if you have all this mental trash that you can't seem to find a trash bag to put them all in and throw them in
Yeah.
the garbage, then you need help. Okay, so there are certain things that Lamiz has recommended. These are powerful things that we should all do. I know for me personally, Lamiz, I had everybody telling me all this good stuff after the experience with with that principal. Oh, and worse yet, Lamiz, you know what she did? She shaved my hair.
Oh, wow.
My mother
Okay.
was so, yes, my mother was so, you know, she loved to her girls to look a certain way. So we had long hair and, you know, braids and all that sort of thing. And in public, during one of the school assemblies, she shaved my hair. She didn't cut my hair. She shaved it and I was bald.
Wow.
Do you understand? So some people
Okay.
are out here determined to damage you, and they are successful for the most part. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of people to convince you otherwise. And for me, it's been a journey. So
Yeah.
now I've gotten to the point that I said, you know what? You know that sleeveless dress that I couldn't wear anymore? I'm going to wear it. So what? I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't know if it has anything to do with age accumulated over the years or
Experience. Yes.
experiences, you know. So I've got to the point that, oh, it doesn't matter. Just like you said, you don't. Why should you care
Yeah.
what people think? People may either think something positive or they may think something negative. But let me ask you, Lamiz, what do you think about, and this works for me, journaling. What do you think about journaling? People keeping journal, to write
It's
down their negative thoughts and how to challenge
it's
them. What do you think about that?
it's a powerful tool in terms of the energy. So I believe everything's energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the journaling helps in terms of, if you think, and people always say, what do you mean? Like the energy goes into the paper,
Mm-hmm.
okay, or it goes into your words. And I'm like, think about when you get a message from someone in your life, and someone special, and you get the message, and everything inside of you just lights up. Okay, like you can feel like you can't breathe right now
Yes,
because this person has touched something
yes,
inside of you.
yeah.
It's the same thing with negative things, with things you that's going around, that mental clutter that's going around in your head. When it's just sitting here,
Mm-hmm.
it's so much bigger
Yes.
because it's got so much space in your mind. There's no limit to it then.
Mm-hmm.
But when you literally, when you're sitting and you're writing, and I'm not talking perfect writing here, I'm
Mm.
talking you're just writing whatever is coming to mind. You're not worried about proper grammar and punctuation and all of those things. You are just writing whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming into your head, you're writing it down on paper. All of that energy goes into the paper. Okay. And what happens then is you taking all of those things that are fighting around in your head. And when you look at it, and it's concrete, and I love this word, concretize. When you have concretized all of the negative thoughts, all of the trash going around in your head, all of the overthinking, you look at it with a different set of eyes because it's not inside of you anymore. When you see something solid, there's a sense of control for you because you're looking at your words and you're able to see, wow, I didn't even realize that this was in my head. I didn't even realize that this is what was worrying me. Okay. And that is why I'm saying journaling, it's not about making it look pretty. It's not about perfect grammar. It's not about punctuation. It's getting all of that emotion, all of those thoughts onto a piece of paper that you can sit and you can look at. Okay. And just witness it. Witness yourself. Witness what is going on in your head. Okay, I have something that and it's a saying that I feel so strongly about. It's honor yourself. You honor everyone else by listening to them. You honor
Mm-hmm.
everyone else's opinion by taking on their opinions and that. Honor yourself by giving yourself that time. Okay, by giving yourself that space. It's holding yourself, and I love this. But I want to ask you a question before you come back with your question after this. Okay, Dr. Osimiri. It's to hold yourself sacred. So, and this is the thing for me. People have different approaches, right,
Yes.
to what we do in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I plant seeds. I am not here to tell anyone what to do, how to show up, how to
Mm-hmm.
be, whatever. Okay. I focus on the attributes I carry inside of me
Mm-hmm.
that God has put there, which is
Yes.
love. Okay.
Yes.
Which is that holding the space for somebody and being a mirror so somebody can look and see themselves. That's what I honor in myself. That's what I've been blessed with. And that's my focus.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you, and I'm saying this, I'm speaking about your words specifically because you know your favorite phrase for me is yes, I said it.
Yes, I
Okay.
see.
I love it. Okay, because yes, I said it. And this is the thing. So your approach is very different, where you will say something and both works. depending on the context,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the situation. If
Mm-hmm.
someone doesn't ask me directly, like, Lamiz, tell me what to do here. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
ask me directly, I'm going to still say, you know what, you're the expert on yourself. You know,
Yes.
these are
Yeah.
your options. These are your
Yes.
options.
Yeah.
But you decide because you have to live with the decision and the choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you the question, Dr. Smiri, is when did you decide that that teacher's words no longer had a hold over you? It was no longer going to control how you dressed, how you looked at yourself. What was the deciding factor for you? I'm
It was the
curious.
journaling, writing journals, writing every day, making every day count, making every day what I define for me. It didn't matter anymore. For the longest, it mattered. I would pause. Well, what would they think? What wouldn't they think? And then by journaling, I would ask myself, who cares?
Okay.
Who cares what they think? What are they? Do they feed you? No, they don't. Are they your friends necessarily? No. What is it exactly that they're doing for you? That woman is dead. She's been dead for a while, and you're still here, still inhaling and exhaling. Why do you care what she thinks? That time is over. It's over. So now I document the positive things I experience and how the positive things make me feel as opposed to the negativity. Negative things make you feel bad. So when you write it down and you're saying, okay, these are the negative things, how do I feel about that? Bad. So I don't need that. I don't need to focus that. But how on those? But how about these wonderful things that are happening to me? How do I feel about them? That changed by me writing down how I feel about positive and negative, right? That changed my attitude. My focus changed completely. And it's interesting, it didn't happen when I was younger. In other words, my change of heart didn't happen when I was younger. It happened when I became an adult because, quite frankly, as an adult now, as an elder, I don't care. Just like you said, I don't care what you think. It doesn't matter. I've lived. Now the only thing I have is to keep living and keep enjoying
Yes.
my life to the best of my ability until I'm called home. You know what I'm saying? So to focus on what people think at this age is an exercise in stupidity, excuse the expression. There's a whole lot more I could be doing with my
Yeah.
life, my time, than worry about some dead woman and what she thought, right? It doesn't matter anymore. And I've got to share this with you. I finally decided,
Yeah.
and it was a big deal. The day that I decided to wear a sleeveless dress, you may think this is crazy, but it is true. The day that
Yes.
I found a beautiful white dress. And when I walked out of the house with that dress, the only thing I was thinking was, who cares? Do you like what you got on? Go for it.
Beautiful.
And so I walked on out. And the interesting thing, people were complimenting me. Oh, girl, I love that dress. I said, you do? I said, okay. Well,
Yeah.
now instead of me thinking that they're going to think like this woman thought, oh, you're, the body shaming sort of thing that she was doing.
Yes.
All of a sudden, here people saying, validating what I'm already agreeing with myself. I felt, okay, you look good. You look in the mirror, you look good. Walk out of this house and feel good. Continue to feel good. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Lamiz, it's so difficult. It's difficult to let go of trash. It's like when you go, there's some people, you go to their homes and they're accumulating, and you say, what are they doing with all this garbage? They can't let
Yeah.
go. It has some things that is latched onto their minds, some significance that they think that junk that they have in their homes is worthy of keeping. And that's how we feel when we keep those things in our minds. But journaling helps me it has helped me tremendously. Every day before I go to bed, and I get my paper and I write, what are some of the positive things that happened today? Based on what I thought about myself, what were some of the positive things that happened that I should hold on to as opposed to the negatives? Because Lamiz, you're from South Africa, so you don't know this Igbo proverb. There's something we say, Ibribe, Dabameka, Ikebohu, Gahikwari. It's a, it's,
Okay.
it's a proverb. ibiribe
Um,
tabaneka nke bụ ohu gahikwari. Let goodness fall in my palms, and then I'll hold on to it. But those that I can't hold on to, I throw behind. So every day,
okay.
I'm only going to hold on to good stuff. All those
It's good.
negative things, I'm throwing behind me. It's a process that we have to go through. We have to train ourselves, and if we find that we can't train ourselves, then we need to get help. But I didn't seek help. I never got help. But as a psychologist, I kind of knew what I had to do.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
time to use my practice, not just on other people, but on myself. We are our own worst doctors, right?
Yes, that's right. That's very
What,
true.
so yes, thank you for asking that question. But that's what it was for me. After a while, I had to make that decision. Take the good, the bad, let go. Let go. You
Yes.
can't hold on to it because nobody's going to make you feel better but yourself. You're going to have some individuals that will do their best to make you feel good, but then it's up to you to decide, okay, I've heard enough, I'm good enough. So that's definitely one of the things that I did. And then also mindfulness, and awareness, you know, um,
And
limiting
now
my,
you're rocking the shaved look. Now you're
huh?
rocking the shaved look. Remember the shaved look? Now
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
rocking
yeah,
it on
yeah.
your
You know what
own.
I'm saying? Okay. I said, there's nothing wrong with this
Right?
hair. And this is my choice, though. It's my
Exactly.
choice. Yeah, but back
Yes.
then I was a kid. I really liked my braids. You know what I'm saying? But she
You
took
love
that
your hair.
pleasure. She took that away from me. But that's okay. I've gotten to the point now. I think it's cool. It's cool to have short hair. It's less of a
Very.
hassle. It's less of a hassle, less that you have to do. So let me ask you about this too. That
Yes.
we need. What about the negativity? Where do they come from? How do we limit exposure
You don't.
to
You
negativity?
listen. You don't. And I want to use the example of your hair, right?
Hmm.
Polarity. If one thing is present, the opposite is also present.
Mm. Hmm.
And the shift in perspective is what you choose to focus on.
Yes.
That's what it is. So the meaning attached to that teacher shaving your hair was a
Hmm.
painful one at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've processed it. Now, the meaning you attach to
Hmm.
shaving your hair is I'm owning this. This is who I am.
Yes.
So it's the meaning that we attach to things. And also, in terms of, I specifically asked you that question because it ties into when I say you are the expert on yourself.
Hmm.
Because only you decide when you've had enough.
That's
Only
right.
you can. Somebody can tell you, like you said, people were telling you beautiful things. Do this, do that, and unsolicited advice.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
is you can tell somebody 1,000 times the same thing.
Hmm.
When they are ready to receive it
Yes.
and to act on it,
Hmm.
they will,
Yes.
because you don't have control over anyone else.
No, you
You do
don't.
not have control over anyone else. So, my approach when it comes to this kind of thing, and that is why I say, and you put it beautifully too, in terms of minding my tongue, being responsible for my impact,
Hmm.
setting my intention, and making sure that my impact is aligned to it. I respond from who I am because I'm very clear on who I am. I am very clear, okay, on my beliefs and what my values are. And that comes with accountability and responsibility. And respect for me, I have to respect the fact that not everybody is going to be ready
Yes.
to see themselves. I have to
Hmm.
respect that.
That's
But
right.
when they are, the seed is already there.
Hmm.
And then they've got to nurture it in a way that's true for them. And I emphasize this, in a way that's true for you.
Yeah.
Because that is when it hits and it takes root. Okay. And that is when you can't get shaken. When you do things in a way that's true for you and that's aligned to your values
Yes.
and your belief system,
Hmm.
okay, it brings a clarity
That's right.
for you because
Mm-hmm.
then you see yourself. Then it doesn't matter what the world says. Then you get shaken a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but you don't get moved. You
Mm-hmm.
steady. You
That's
steady in
right.
who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that just deepens. It's every day when you do it, it just deepens. I mean, I look at you now, your voice, you use your voice so powerfully. And you said you didn't speak. It's you have taken the lessons that you've learned, your experiences you've lived, and you share it in a way that's true for you, and you live your life in a way that's true for you.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
that is what people take note of.
that's
It's
right.
not always what you say.
That's
People
right.
watch you also.
That's right. One of the other things that I found, I just now this is a recent decision that I've made, and that
Okay.
is, I don't always, now and then I like to get on social media, on Facebook and all that sort of thing,
Yes.
but I'm not always there because I'm busy. But that doesn't mean that I don't like the social space, media. But sometimes I just don't have the time. And then I found that some of my shows, you have people who come in there to unrattle you, or rather to rattle you. Their whole purpose is not there to hear what you have to say. You know what I'm saying? They are there to
Yes.
create trouble, to talk nonsense. And it used to be a time that I thought, well, everybody has an opinion. It's okay. Let's hear the opinion and all that sort of thing. But I found that that opinion is negativity in my space. Okay, if you don't like me, if you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to be here. You understand what I'm saying? Move somewhere else. Go on. Now I can accommodate it now and then, but if it becomes a consistent nonsense, then it's not their problem anymore because I have the option of delete, delete, delete. You know what I'm saying? Or block. You know what I'm saying? So you take responsibility for
I
your
do.
for your happiness or lack thereof when all is said and done. So if you have people who are determined to mess with your mind or put something in there that latches on, delete. It's the same thing with people, who come into your space and they have negative.
Yes.
Delete, delete, delete. Go, 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 go. You just if you don't have any time for me, why should I make time for you? If the only time you have for me is to tell me bad things, then why should I accommodate you? And you find, and the other thing that we need to realize that when somebody's intention for you is negative, and if they put a lot of negativity around you, they've got issues because attention can be positive or negative. Sometimes people know
Yeah.
they want attention, and the way to get attention from you is to say negative things, right? Or do
Yes.
negative things around you. Then they rile you up, and there you go. It's attention. They've got the attention. So we need to know when to say, "Ibri betaba meka gubu hugai bari."
Look at that.
I need to teach you
Now
that.
the rest behind.
That's right. Only the good. I will only open my hands
All
for the
the
good
good.
things.
Yes.
Yeah, everything else back, go behind.
Understood.
And my
Yeah.
daughter,
Okay.
my,
I like
yeah,
that.
my daughter.
You
I tell her
remember
that
that
all the
one.
time. I tell my daughter that oh, celebration is coming our way because she's graduating August the 7th with her doctorate. Yes,
Oh,
I'm so proud of her.
beautiful.
It's been a journey, and I always taught her, "Ibiribe dabameka, kebu
I love
gahewari."
it.
Don't let anybody rile you. You know what you need. The bad stuff, throw behind you. Only catch the good ones. That sort of thing.
Yes.
So that is my motto now. If you're talking nonsense or in my space, you got to go. I don't have to hear you. I
Okay.
don't care what you're talking about. If it's not going to be positive for me, you have to go.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you now. Another thing that I do, and you can tell me, the affirmation and positive self talk. What are your thoughts on that? Positive self-talk.
So, positive self talk, polarity. I'm going to take it back to polarity. If you are telling yourself, I am a fabulous human being, and then you walk outside your gate and you cuss the neighbor, are you a fabulous human being? Okay. Are you a fabulous human being? And this is why I say to do it in a way that's true for you.
Yeah.
Because when you affirm to yourself every day, I'm beautiful, I'm abundant, I'm flowing in my life, and you walk outside
Uh-huh.
and your behavior is disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
it causes that that trash, that mental trash you're talking about, because
Yes.
there's a conflict for you.
Mm-hmm. True, true.
And this is what it is.
Uh-huh.
When I think of polarity, and I think of the negativity that you talk about as well, where people come and they come to just rattle you. For
Yes.
me, a powerful thing is life will test who you say you are, and it will
Yes.
test what you say you believe. So when someone is coming at me, I look at them and I'm like, okay, is that true? Is that not true? If it's not true for me, I'm like, okay, do your best. You have time to focus on that. And this
Mm-hmm.
is it's like a muscle that you're training all the time.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't happen overnight. This is a lifetime thing we've got going on with ourselves.
That's right.
It does not happen overnight. You reach a point where you just like, I see your comment. And sometimes I pack up laughing and I'm just like, I see your comments, and it's one of the things I've been very blessed. I haven't had people be really inappropriate on my post or be really inappropriate. I've had people intimating certain things, but it's
Uh-huh.
different. But I haven't had troll comments and things like that, because for me it's just like, dude, I don't have time for this. Like, I
Yes.
will love you to death. You will die because you're not used to being loved like this.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And this is the thing, that is my thing about it. It's life will test who you say you are, and it will
Mm-hmm.
test what you say you believe. And when
Mm-hmm.
something happens and you sit down and you do the journaling and you look at it and you reflect at it, and it's just like, and that's why I can comfortably say, I am who I say I am, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe what I say I believe. So
Yes.
whatever's happening around me, my reaction is not immediately. And we think about it, we think about where we come from, we think about our countries we come from. I come from the Cape Flats, so I can easily take it to the street and get ghetto. I have
Mm-hmm.
not forgotten my roots, but I choose to do it differently,
Yes.
because I've learned and I've understood that a lot of a lot of pain causes
Yeah.
anger.
Mm-hmm.
And you're either going to use the anger to destroy yourself,
That's right.
or you're going to transmute it. You're going to
That's right.
alchemize into something that's going to serve
Mm-hmm.
instead of, that's going to serve instead of harm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've gone past the point of, I want to get even with people. I want to look at you and I want to say, you know what? And
Bye.
this,
Bye,
I know,
Felicia.
no, no, I want, this
Bye.
is something
Bye,
that,
Felicia.
that's
You got to go.
absolutely no. I want to tell you this. I think one of my favorite prayers now is, may you meet yourself on your path. When someone behaves in a certain way that is it's unacceptable to everything I believe in, everything I stand for, and
Uh-huh.
whatever, I'm still going to treat you with respect. And my prayer for you is, may you meet yourself on your path, because you know what you like, so you know what it's going to be like to meet yourself. And I'm just like, you meet yourself on your path, and that's it. That's it. And to, yes, love people from, put a healthy boundary in. Don't
Yes.
don't give access to everybody. Like you said last week in your show as well. Like
Mhm.
share with your friends and that, but don't share everything. That is where
Yes.
that holding yourself sacred comes in.
Yes.
Having
Yes.
reverence for your life,
Yes.
being discerning about what you share.
That's right.
Okay, if you don't want somebody else to share something that you think is sacred, why
Hmm.
are you going to share someone else's story
Hmm.
that they think is sacred? Why are you going to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's just the point right there. You know, human beings are human beings, right?
Yes,
They're
they
gonna do
are.
what human beings do. So if you know
Yes,
that something is sacred, don't share it, because human beings, people like
yes,
attention, right? You know what I'm saying?
yes.
If they think they want attention and telling your story is going to give them that attention, oh, they're telling your story, and they'll tell that person, don't say I told you.
Oh no, why? I'm like, keep it to yourself. This is just between you
Keep it to
and I'm
yourself.
just like, let's not. That is why I say, Dr. Osimiri, if I really want to share something, if something is burning
Uh,
inside of me, I take it to God. I'm just like, it's gonna go there. It's not gonna go any further.
yes,
That is a sacred resting place
that's it.
for
That's it.
everything you hold, for everything you hold sacred in your life.
Yeah,
That
if you want so desperately, right?
yes,
Hearing what you're saying, if you want so desperately to hold
yes,
something without, or rather, if you want to share something so badly, then
yes,
you have somebody to share with, and that's the divine. Your
yes,
sacred time,
yes.
talk about it, pour it out, and it stays where it stays, right? Let's say
The
one minute.
ugly stuff. Yes, the things I don't like. I don't want to bury a body, so I'm going to tell God, I really want to bury this body, okay? And I'm going to be just like, yeah, I can vent and I can show up and I can just be,
Yes,
okay? But
yes,
yes, what you really, and you already know the stuff.
that's right.
You already
That's
know the stuff, and taking it back to, you're the expert on yourself.
right. Hmm.
Okay. Whatever you give yourself, it enables you to give it to others as well.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you value certain things, if
Yes.
you value respect and loyalty and love and all of those things, you're
Hmm.
going to get it from people, but your wisdom needs to come into play, because
That's right.
people are going to give it back to you in
Hmm.
a way that's true for them,
That's right.
not for you.
Not for you.
And
That's
it's
right.
your choice. Yeah, it's your choice then whether you accept it or not.
That's right. That's
But you
right.
know, when you say hold on to the good things and get rid of the bad things,
Hmm.
that's where it comes
Hold,
in.
throw. Hold, throw.
Hold,
That's a
throw.
practice. That's right.
Yes,
Hold,
hold and throw.
throw. That's right. It's just we just have to develop coping skills. Many of us don't have
Yes,
those skills. Many of us, again, based on the history, based on some of the experiences we've had, it does impact how we handle situations. And
yeah,
so it's kind of difficult for some people. But once you start, as you said earlier, once you start making it about yourself and start checking in on yourself and start checking in on what is it I'm buying into? What is it? If this is all
yes,
about me, why does everybody else matter? We need to be engaged with ourselves, for us to be able to let go of clutter. Check in and see what should be in there. I
yes,
know. We have experiences that may impact our ability to let things go, but at the same time, we still have the capacity, if we really want to change.
yes,
Letting go helps our personal growth. That's one of the things that's important about letting go. It helps you improve your mental health. All right. and it empowers you. So if you're going through a
Yes.
whole lot of things and you feel weak, and you're not empowered, and your mental health is deteriorating, you holding on to trash. You got to let that trash go, because
Exactly.
if you don't, you're going to continue to, as a matter of fact, it may lead to depression. And that's what happens a lot of times when we're not able to handle things. It leads to depression. And you know what? As we wrap up this episode, I want you to remember that the journey to mental clarity and empowerment is ongoing. It doesn't stop. It's not something that, oh, I didn't get it done this time, then I mean it's over. No, it's vital to recognize and challenge the mental trash that holds you back. By practicing mindfulness, surrounding yourself with positivity, and actively working on your self-esteem. You working on it, just like Lamiz said, you have to work on it. You can break free from the chains of negativity. And it is very, very important that we continue with this conversation. And I'm going to invite you again. I don't believe
I
that.
know, right?
But conversations don't stop. You know what I'm saying?
No,
People
it
are
doesn't.
people are on a journey of self-discovery. You don't leave them in a lurch and say, okay, well, we had this show. So that's why I want to continue to talk about those things that I think is important to people. It was important to me. It has helped me to move from the valley to the mountaintop. At least that's where I think I am. when you, when you have made a decision that you're no longer going to be in the valley, then you see yourself up there. And so we're going to continue.
Exactly.
We're going to continue. I am going to invite you again, if you don't mind. Now you've become a member of this show.
Thank
you're,
you.
you're my co-host now. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So because these things need to be talked about. These things need to be
Yes.
talked about. I'd like to thank all of you who joined us. Unfortunately, time is against us now, and we must move
Yeah.
on. I'm hoping that you will join us again. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who may benefit from it. Until next time, take care of your mind and embrace your worth. And I would like to thank my guest speaker today, Lamiz, for your wonderful, wonderful contributions today. And thank you for all the audience members who made some comments. We'll take it to heart. And I will invite you to come and join us again next Saturday when we'll
Yes.
be talking about something just as powerful as what we talked about today. Thank you, Lamiz. I look forward to our continued conversation. Do you have any last
It's
minute you want to share?
yes. It's been an absolute pleasure. Listen, I love our connection. I love our energy. And I love the conversation and how it's expanding, right? Because that's what's needed at the moment. But
Yes.
also just to close out, because I think it's important also. Yes, you're right. Not everybody has access to supporting tools, to supportive people in that, but also to remember
Mhm.
that sometimes the bravest thing, and I heard this once, the bravest thing you can do is to ask for help. Okay.
Yes.
And somebody's going to reach their hand out. Trust me. So
Yes.
always from love. Thank you, Dr. Osimiri, for having me. And thank you to your beautiful audience. They always so loving. Their comments, I enjoy their comments.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
they didn't have much time last week because I took over the whole chat.
Well, I love it when you start talking and say, just let her talk. Just let her talk. You know,
Okay, but
I,
thank you so much. Please take care of yourself. This was
oh,
really beautiful.
thank you. And I just want to remind people that we are always looking for interesting people to feature on our show. If you want to join this show, please contact us, the Ndomodu Show at gmail.com. And we're looking for people right now who have magnificent things to share. And we will invite you to be a part of our program. Thank you again. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And you know what? Make it a good day. It's all up to you. It's not up to anybody but you. And so it is. Thank you very much. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.